back with you here and again twice in 1 week. We're killing it this week. I just wanted to touch base. I know last update that I sent out through Instagram, we had done the Enzo Rings final update on the copper, so I appreciate you guys checking that out and commenting. I did want to take a look today. I had mentioned it before a long time ago, sadly, like last August, and haven't gotten around to it, but now I've got a good amount of experience under my belt, especially since it ships every 3 months for the refills, and that's the Quip Toothbrush. It's an item that I kind of bought on my typical whim and wanted to take a look at. Obviously, oral hygiene is incredibly important as you get older, and anything that makes that easier. I don't know how long I've kept brushes months and months and months past their due, and it just doesn't have the same effect anymore. So Quip seemed like a decent solution for me because it gets rid of the guesswork. It just shows up at your door. You don't have to think about it. I mean, it is one of those classic, another subscription to add to the pile, another subscription to add to the pile, and I know they end up creeping up, but I think it's been pretty solid for me so far. I got it for my wife as well. My daughter's been bugging me for it, and I said I need to see reliable teeth brushing from you before you can get anything out of that. But I'll give you guys a little bit of a breakdown here for it. I did want to take a look real quick, and I figured we'd just jump right over here and take a look for you right through the site itself. So there's a few different options that you can take a look at here. They've got everything from your basic plastic, they've got metal, and then they've even got like a special edition here for you. So the one I'm going to take a look at is the metal. The special edition, it wasn't out when I purchased mine. So your starter set itself comes in a few different options, a few different price points. They even have a kid starter set, and this is where my daughter was all over me. They do this as a rubber gripped plastic is kind of the coating for it, and then a watermelon toothpaste is what they do as the option there. And there's a few different, there's always promo codes going on. There's a bunch of podcasts that do promo codes and stuff. This is not a sponsored ad because I'm not looking to offer up any promo codes or anything. I just want you guys to get a good honest opinion on how this brush has worked for us as far as whether it's worth your money. So up front, obviously you'll see here plastic. They have this floss is new now, so if I drop down here, you've got your plastic, your metal edition. You'll see you got your different colors here, which kind of give you a bit of a view of everything, kind of your gold, copper, like carbon fiber black look, and silver. And then here's your special editions where you've got the black and then the product red for the other option, and then plastic more like a basic kind of green and blue. So the edition that I have currently is the copper style edition. It goes along with my love of those Enzo rings. It's just a good clean look, I found. So that's the road I went. My wife does have the gold for hers. It's been fantastic, honestly. Like the actual toothbrush itself, very clean, very simple, smooth. There's no perforations or anything through the bottom. There's no plug-in to charge. It keeps it very, very simple. And I find that I really like the streamlining of that. I've actually had a few people over where it's been in my little toothbrush cup, and they've seen it and asked about it because it's such a unique, modern, clean look. The aesthetic to it is very solid. The actual finish on it is very, very clean. I find it's a great look, very kind of, there's a slight texture to it, but not enough for grip or anything. It just feels really good in the hand. Size wise, comfortable. The head of the brush itself, you'll notice on the back here, you've got kind of the Quip logo there, and that gives you a little bit of a tongue brush, as well as just a nice little feel to it. As the top here is kind of a rubberized plastic, and this is kind of a rubber in through here as well. So the beauty of Quip is when you purchase it, you're going to be looking at a one-time purchase, which obviously you can check on the website. This is the Canadian version, of course, for the website. And then you get refills, and this is where the secret to Quip kind of comes in. You can do it as a prepay and pay for 12 months up front. You can do quarterly, or you can do one-time purchase if you just want to check out the toothbrush and handle your own stuff. I know some people get pretty religious about their toothbrushes that they use, and they also get religious about their toothpaste they use. I know my wife is a full convert, and she will probably never switch from 3D white, so that's what she typically uses, although I have seen her crack open the Quip toothpaste as well from time to time, but she's definitely not won over. As for the actual toothbrush itself, though, very clean. You have a sonic vibration. I don't know if you can hear that, but you don't notice a whole lot of movement. It's very slight, but very powerful. I feel like it's a very strong vibration. Definitely way more than the more basic $20, $30, $40, which is the range you're going to be spending for this. For the regular ultrasonic style brushes that push into the hundreds, then you'll see a similar vibration. There's no actual movement back and forth of the bristles or anything. It's just reliant on that vibration, but that vibration motor is very strong. It does a really good job. As for the refills, they come once every 3 months. So once every 3 months you're charged. If you do the full package, you have a dental floss kit as well as the toothpaste itself, which I've got right here. A couple different options here. Toothpaste itself comes as well, and that'll be every 3 months, as well as a new brush head, which will show up in a handy little tube like so, and you just pop the little tab off there, and onto your toothbrush it goes. So it's a pretty clean option, and it comes with one AAA battery, which is what these guys take, is AAAs. So you pop your AAA in, you're good to go, and then you get a handy little note here. Kind of breaks down how things get handled, steps to freshen up your Quip. Free refills you can do. They obviously run a referral program, as well as you can also refer your dentist too. And then on the back, how they recommend for your actual brush. So kind of cool little breakdown. Again, keeps with that clean, modern, simple aesthetic that we're all kind of looking for these days. The other thing that you'll get in your startup kit is this little guy right here. This is the Quip travel adapter slash, you'll see there's a little suction piece kind of on the back there, and that will allow you to stick it to your mirror, and then you can put your Quip in like so. So that way when you finish brushing, it's stuck on your mirror. It's just a nice, clean, easy look. You don't have to dig through anything. Now, you will hear what I said was, when I have people over, they see it in my toothbrush cup. And the reason for that is I'm actually not a huge fan of this. As far as the two-piece travel case, using it as a travel case, fantastic. It works great for that. The problem that I run into, the suction works great. It sticks very well, so that little suction piece has not lost any stickiness. It's very clean. It doesn't feel super sticky to the touch when you touch it, but it does stick to the mirror, no problem at all, and it holds the weight. It's never fallen once. However, after about a week of using it, when you finish brushing your teeth and rinse off the top, unless you're drying the tip of this every time, the concept is great. They have a slot in the bottom for water to run and 2 slots at the back for water to come out and allow things to evaporate. But you'll notice, because it's so smooth and it's such a close fit, like there's a little movement but not a whole lot, I think it just tightens it too much against the sides, and it doesn't evaporate out. Not near enough, especially if you're brushing your teeth a couple times a day, in the morning and night, or whatever you're doing. It always stays damp inside, and then I found that I would be brushing my teeth and I have this musty smell coming from the water that's been stuck in here. So I've actually not used this at all in probably, I don't know, a few months. I used it for the first couple weeks, 3 weeks, and then I started to smell that, and I was just done, because it's right up by your face, and it's the last thing you want to be smelling when you're trying to freshen your breath and make your general oral hygiene better. So I stopped using it. I do use it for the travel case. It works well for that, slides in well. It fits tight enough where it's not going to come off, which is good. You're not worried about it coming off in your suitcase because the bristles hold. But again, if this is so dirty inside, if I'd been using it a lot for that, I would be like real disgusted by the simple concept of this thing popping in and out of whatever's going on in here. So not a huge fan of that. The style could use a little bit of change. However, the one thing I will give Quip is, I've only had it now for, I don't know, 2 or 3 refills, so 6-8 months I think I've got it now. In the 2 refills that I've gotten so far for the 6 months, every 3 months, both of them have had slight changes to the product itself, which I'm a huge fan of. I feel like they're moving forward. They're not letting it be stagnant. There's tons of places for feedback that they allow, that you can go in and give them suggestions. For example, if you look at the dental floss here, this was not a product that was around when I first signed on. And they actually sent surveys out asking what items you would prefer if they were to include them in the refill package. And this was one of them. It's a cool little pop-up dispenser for your dental floss, and it has a little marker that tells you exactly the right amount to use each time. So that's pretty solid. I mean, as far as items go, you can match it with everything. You got your metallic, you got your plastics, very similar. So I could line it up to match with mine as well. So it's a pretty cool concept. It's $5 additional every 3 months. So that brings you to $15 every 3 months for a kit. Obviously, if you bought a battery and things separate, you could make things a little bit cheaper. But honestly, I found for the $10 that you get, it's pretty solid to get the proper replacement for the actual head itself. And it really helped me realize that this wears down a good amount in 3 months. I mean, a regular toothbrush head, we're supposed to be swapping them out. Nobody does it at the regular interval. This helps you do that. It's completely easy. You get a tracking email sent, oh, it's time for your refill. They send it out. It comes in a little zipper bag. You pop it open, you throw your new battery in, and you're good to go. It honestly has made things super easy. And at $10 quarterly, I feel like there's worse things you can spend your money on, and I feel like oral hygiene gets expensive later if you're not taking care of it. So if you do $10, you get the regular stuff. If you add the $5, then you get the additional tooth floss, the floss refillers. As far as replacing the battery, pretty straightforward. It threw me off a little bit at first. You kind of grab the end here and pull. You got to pull pretty hard, and it's going to give you the internals here. You're not right to the battery immediately because they have a nice little seal. There's a little seal here. It does suggest on your kit there that you wet your old brush tip and kind of brush around the edge here to get little leftover toothpaste out. And then there's a little tab that you can kind of pull right here, and it yanks out the actual cylinder that has the battery in it. So it's well protected in there. There's no issue there. And in below, you'll see you got your battery down in. Right, so this whole piece is simply to keep things waterproof so you're not worried about things leaking in and this thing damaging over time, and you click back on and you're good to go. So it's pretty clean, it's pretty easy. It threw me off at first, really having to yank. Do I twist? You just pull, it snaps off, and you can replace your battery. The battery does come with your refill, so you don't have to worry about, oh, do I have AAAs around the house? They do take care of it. The other cool concept with it is you can swap things out and keep it simple. You get rid of your old toothbrush head and on you go. So I'm a pretty big fan of it. The toothpaste has changed as well. So you'll notice this is kind of a steel gray color. This one's like a smooth white kind of look, and it tastes a little bit different as well. This one here is the newer one. So the first couple we got were these ones, and now they've switched over to these guys. They do say use a pea-sized amount, and they're pretty direct about it. It's even right on the back on how much to use. They don't want you overusing it. And honestly, if you're a person who likes to slather on a decent amount of toothpaste, this will not last you 3 months, just to be completely honest. If you're a 3-time-a-day brusher or more, if you do a quick on the way by, these probably won't last you 3 months, just so you know. Have a backup toothpaste for that. But otherwise, if you're using the pea-sized amount, you're good to go. As far as the actual toothpaste itself, it's a kind of a chalky white. There's no micro beads or anything in that. I know everybody's trying to get away from that. The one thing I find is it doesn't cake up as much. Some toothpastes are real foamy to the point where it's coming and filling your whole mouth very quickly. These ones don't. So these guys here, I do find it almost a little more watery, and you have to spit it out more often, even with a pea-sized amount, but it does the job. The other thing that I found really funny is I've almost had like a Pavlovian response to this because it has a 2.5-minute timer on this. There's 2.5 minutes that it runs. It vibrates every 30 seconds, so you can work your way around your mouth and you know when to move. I'll get to the point where I'm brushing my teeth at night, finishing things up around the house before bed, and I'll walk back to the bathroom. At the last 30-second interval, it does a bzz, 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 and stops. At that point, I'm in the bathroom getting ready to spit it out and brush my tongue. So it's pretty crazy how much it's built in, and it hasn't even been that long. I can only imagine, like, over a couple of years, I definitely have a really good 2.5-minute timer in my head now, which is kind of cool because it also makes sure that you're not underbrushing. If you're running through, you don't need to overbrush, you don't need to underbrush. It'll take care of it with the timer for you. So all in all, I'm a huge fan of Quip so far. My wife did get her replacement head, and it was actually, even though she has the gold, they actually sent her the special edition. So she received the black head here. So that was pretty cool. Kind of like the black on gold. It actually looks better than the original. I really liked that. But other than that, everything's been fantastic. No delays in shipping, no complaints. Again, I'm up in Canada, so obviously there's potential customs or any that I've never had a problem with any of it. So all in all, I think the Quip has been fantastic for me. I feel like it's great if you're worried about your busy life and the last thing you can think of is adding another brush head to the pile. It takes care of it for you. However, obviously there's a subscription cost to consider, and if you're not the type of person who's got the extra kicking around, or you just don't want to waste $10 on that when you'd rather just handle it yourself, feel free. I just felt for $10 every 3 months, it's not unreasonable. The initial cost of the brush is totally sensible. If you get any kind of vibrating toothbrush, I mean, you're going to be 25, 30. I mean, if you do the really cheap kid ones, maybe you're 15, 20. But for these guys here, I mean, you're pushing into the 40, 50 range. The thing feels solid. I've never had a toothbrush under $50 feel this good. It's very smooth, very clean. I'm not worried about it breaking. It's got a decent weight to it. It doesn't feel chintzy and plastic. Obviously, this is the metal version, and it actually is metal, which is great. It's not just some coating that I'm worried about flaking off. So all in all, fantastic toothbrush. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and if you do want to throw a like or a subscribe or a comment, I'm always happy to take suggestions for upcoming videos, and I will look forward to talking to you guys soon. Thanks so much.